Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to our podcast. Today, we are going to talk about something that's very passionate about Cyndee and I, and that's actually resident retention.
We want to keep those people happy.
Yes, we do. It's really important that we talk about it, and we dedicate a separate podcast to this because obviously, if there's nobody living at our places, we don't have a business, period.
We're in trouble.
We're in trouble. So people have asked us before, Cyndee, like, what does resident retention look like from you? When does it start? When does it end? And what does it look like all in between?
Well, I think there are two different ways of looking at it. One is from the property management side, and that is more like 60 days out, they send renewal letters. You know, I really don't know. Like, I know they have a process.
Yeah, we do. So I typically, about 90 days, I'm actually talking with my team and I'm letting you know, hey, what's going to come? What do we have to do to get prepared? Like, well, let's go over in the negotiations because, yes, if they've been there longer than a year, you have to give them a 60-day notice. So typically, I'm talking about 90. Hey, how much should we raise rents? That gives me a month to get things ready. And then about the 75th day, I'm already starting to send letters out and get things going because I don't want to wait till the very end, right? We're playing chess here. We're not playing checkers. So around the 70th, 75th day, my team is already getting letters drafted. I'll review them, and then we're sending them out.
Yeah, but that's from the property management.
From a property management
That's the logistics of getting the renewal.
Right.
From an asset management standpoint, we are looking at it. We look at every month, like what renewals we have coming up. And we ask the property management, like, you know, where are we on that? How do you feel about the people that are coming up for renewal? We don't always renew everyone. Sometimes.
Why wouldn't you do that?
It depends on what type of resident they are. You know, it could be someone that maybe has parties every weekend. We get lots of complaints against them.
Right.
So when it comes time to renew, we just choose not to renew them.
Yep. Good.
You know, we look at how many times they're late. You know, it takes a lot chasing down money. We don't want to be chasing money. We want people that are enjoying where they're living.
Right.
I do look at it a little bit like we want to create a sense of community, and we feel that people will stay when they love where they live.
Yep.
So that's part of the asset management, is to kind of take that 10,000 foot view and say, what can we do to make this property so that people want to stay?
Yes.
So we do that through activities. We do monthly activities so they come together as a community. They can get to know their neighbor. A lot of people, you know, they go to work, come home, they don't really even know their neighbors. But when we do our monthly activities, they start to know each other. And then people, if they have referred people, then they've made a little bit of money because they've gotten the referral fee. And, you know, their friends live there.
Yep.
And so it's really important to have people be happy where they're living.
Yeah.
The other thing is maintenance.
Number one reason why people move out, deferred maintenance.
Yeah.
So we got to make sure that's part of your resident retention program.
Because when their renewal's coming up, if they're sitting and they're hearing the faucet drip, 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 they're like, I can't take it another day. Like, I'm not going to renew. I can't take it. So it's important to make sure we stay up on the maintenance, that the residents, you know, feel like they're part of a community. You know, we just had Memorial Day, and at our properties, that was a big celebration, and residents look forward to it. We always do a big cookout. The properties have pools, so they went to, you know, had a big swim. And we asked vendors to donate gift cards so that A, helped offset some of our cost. B, we used them as door prizes. And then the other thing we did is we tried to make sure that our asset is part of the local economy. And by that, I mean, like, we had a birthday cake made. Well, it's not a birthday cake. It would be a congratulations from graduating from high school cake.
Nice.
Whatever that is.
Yeah.
For all the people that graduated from high school. And the kids were so surprised that had moved in during the year they didn't know.
Yep.
That they were actually honored, like at this, cookout, that we're so glad you graduated high school. And we got it from a local bakery because we want to put money into the economy of where our asset is.
Nice.
So
I'm gonna switch gears a little bit because there's something that I want to talk about. I briefly mentioned in the beginning was how I like to start my resident retention. When does it start? How does it go? Which you just talked about, and then where does it end? So for me, I was talking with my resident manager recently, and like reiterating, like resident retention, like for like when do you start getting ready for the renewal is actually after they move in, like right after they move in, and I'll tell you why. So when Cyndee moves in, I want her to have the best possible experience from her move-in, right? I want her to enjoy it. Moving is never fun. It's never enjoyable.
No.
It's always stressful. So I know we talked about it previously, I think, was like having like a toilet paper or something in there,
Yes.
right, inside the home. So they're already starting off on a good foot. Then I have my personal company practice is within 72 hours, they need to make a phone call. Hey, Cyndee, this is Andrew. How's everything going with your movement? Has everything been fine these last few nights? Just to check in with you. Wow, thank you so much. It's been going great. Okay, wonderful. Now, I know I'm talking about how property management does things, but think about it. Everything we do is in a leadership perspective. We should be teaching this and implementing this to our PM companies.
Yes.
Say, hey, this is our business standard. Our company standard as owners is we want to implement these things. So I know some people might be watching this as, it sounds like you're very property management driven, but at the same time, that's what's driving the business is the property management. So you as the asset manager who are going to implement these rules and bring a higher level, because now everybody's going to be like, wait, where's that other company? I want to go to their properties. They're going to chase you, right? So, hey, Cyndee, how's everything going within 72 hours? Great. Thank you so much. Then we do it 90 days, 6 months. And then I think it was on the 9th month, we do it's just a courtesy call. It's literally this simple. Hey, Cyndee, this is Andrew at ABC Property. How are you?
I'm good.
Wonderful. Just want to give you a courtesy call to see how everything's going. It's been a little while since your move in. It was, I think, can you believe it? It's been about 3 months or whatever call it is. It's been 6 months. How's everything been going these last 3 months?
It's been going great.
Wonderful.
Except my faucet drips.
Hey, you know what? That's exactly why I called. Every so often, I know things come up. You're busy, and I want to make sure we take care of that for you. So can I put in a maintenance request for you to take care of that?
I would really appreciate that.
Wonderful. See how easy that was? And how did that make... And now you love the place because we're staying on top of it. We're not... And guess what? It's a leaky faucet, and we pay for the utilities. So now we're going to help reduce our expenses.
Yes.
So a simple phone call just like that when things are slow will absolutely not only increase your resident activity in terms of happiness, it'll lower your expenses, increase your NOI. See how this is a domino effect? So now when it comes to 6 months, hey, Cyndee, it's Andrew. Just wants a courtesy call. Oh, is this a check-in call? Yep, Cyndee, it's just checking in. See how have you been? You haven't been to the office lately. How's everything going with little Fido, the dog, or whatever? It's great. All right, well, hey, Cyndee, I know you're busy. I don't want to take up. If there's anything you need, don't forget we're here for you. Give us a call. Thanks, Andrew. I feel really good about that. Thanks. Bye. Again, that took less than a minute. And then when it comes to the 9-month call, hey, Cyndee, just want to give you again, I always say, hey, Cyndee, just want to give you a courtesy call. Can you believe it? You're almost coming up to your renewal. I can't believe how time flies by, right? Wow. So, hey, in the next month or so, you're going to receive a renewal letter. If you can do us a favor, let us know what you decide. We would love for you to renew. Great. I'll be happy to do that. I'll keep an eye out for that renewal letter. And so now they know it's coming. If you're going to send them an increase, they already know it's coming, whatever that may be. If you have any questions, Cyndee, please feel free to give me a call. Now, for those who are the glass half empty, well, Andrew, aren't they going to say that's going to take a lot of time? Guys, we're in the business of serving others, right? We need to make sure that we take care of them because, again, would you rather pick your hard? Would you rather choose hard of making phone calls and how long did that take every so often? Or would you rather choose hard of your property struggling?
Finding a new person.
So seriously, pick your hard.
Yeah.
What would you rather have? Having calls of saying, but what if they're unhappy? Well, there's a reason why they're unhappy.
We want to know what that reason is.
We want to know, and we want to bring it to the light. So if we're calling people and saying, hey, how's everything going? It's not going well at all. You know what, Cyndee? I'm glad I called you then. Something told me to call you today. They don't need to know it's on a schedule.
Right.
Something told me to call you today. I'm glad I have. Is this a good time? Ask permission. Is this a good time that we could chat about it? And you know what? I'm at work right now, but it isn't. Okay, great. That's fine. When is a good time? Call me on Friday afternoon. I'm off. Sounds good. Then it's up to you to call them on Friday. Hey, Cyndee, you wanted me to... Hey, Andrew, you're already on the right foot. Hey, Andrew, thanks for calling me back. You know, I was just having a bad day. But yeah, I've been meaning to call you because my kitchen cabinet fell. Oh, wow. I'm so sorry to hear that. Yeah, let's take care of that for you. When is it good? And you know what? And you take care of maintenance requests. And we just talked about this in a previous podcast. But it's like you take care of those things. They're happy. And when you send them the renewal with the increased rent, they're more susceptible to receive it well and sign it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just going up. Imagine you're increasing rent, Cyndee, and you've done nothing for the property. No CapEx projects. You're not taking care of the units. My carpet's older now, and you want to charge the same. You want to charge me more for. So when I've been here for 5 years, you've done nothing here, and I know you're a bit advocate of you like to. Okay, well, great. We'll do a faucet, or we'll do a, the next, yes. Whatever that may be. We'll change some outlets or whatever. But if you've already done that from the beginning, you're doing that in the middle, and you're doing that regardless, that's a much better conversation for why you're increasing rent. Then if you wait till the very end, it's 9 months, you have no communication with them, they don't come in, you don't say hello, and it's like, hi, Cyndee, it's Andrew, just want to let you know we're sending you a renewal, and it's going to increase. Right?
Thanks a lot.
Like, so you just see me as a number.
Yeah.
A door number as well as a number rent.
Yes.
See how this just doesn't feel good?
Yeah.
So resident retention is very passionate for me and you, is because it begins from the day one when you move in, checkpoints here and there, making sure the maintenance requests. And when somebody starts with a negative, yes, I'm so glad I called you then. Make it a positive. Dang it, I'm so glad I called you. Is this a good time we could chat about it? Asking permission. Yes, it is. Okay, great. Let's take care of that. Let's write it down. Let's get that fixed. So now when you have these difficult conversations, they can't say, well, you never take care of it. You never do this for me. You never do that for me. It's like, Cyndee, wait, I've always taken care of it. Yeah, you're right. I'm just having a bad day, or whatever that may be.
Yeah.
So the conversation goes that much better. And then when you do have to have a difficult conversation, because guess what? Your property manager will. They cannot throw it in your face. Well, you never take care of this place. You never do anything. We're like, Cyndee, I've always helped you when you needed it. Did I not just say I had this conversation? I had two disgruntled ladies on one of my properties. And I literally got to the point where I was over it. I told you that. I was like, hey, you know what? I need both of you ladies to step outside. Because it was like two grown people acting like children. I said, I need you to step outside. And I said, hey, have I done anything to disrespect you, or has anything from my team not helped you? No. Okay, then. So my understanding is I've always been there when you needed maintenance requests. I've always taken care of things when you needed it. So why are we having such challenges? Why are you guys not getting along, and why are you not respecting my team? Because they're yelling at my team. I said, we don't deserve that. We're here to be professional, but I kind of like in some ways made them feel bad. They're like, yeah, you're right, Andrew. Like, you always done that. I'm like, exactly. So don't treat us like under the rug. Like, don't kick it, like treat us bad. But I don't want to get into a tangent, but I'm just saying, like, these are those things that resident retention happens from the day. I challenge everyone who's watching this. It starts from the day you move in. And when does it end? It really just ends pretty much after they moved out. We even give calls to say, hey, Cyndee, just to let you know, I sent your refund check, your final, it's called a FAS, or final account statement is what I call it. Your move out statement, final account statement. And let me know if you don't receive it. We'll look into that. But thank you for living with us, and we wish you well.
Wow. That's really good customer service.
Really good, right? Because have you ever heard of anybody returning to a property that you've asset managed before?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So why would you give them a bad taste in their mouth when they could be a return resident?
Yes.
If not, you want to have them be an advocate for your property and say, hey, I had to move out because for work, but I know Blake still lives in your area. Hey, Blake, or hey, Andrew, are you looking for Blake? Yeah. Hey, Blake, go check out Cyndee's property. It's amazing. I love it. I love living there for years.
Yeah.
I've had people come back years and years later. Hey, I tried it out in Texas. Didn't work out. I'm coming back and I want to live with you.
Yeah.
I've even had a lady, I know this sounds weird. She was trying to sue me because she didn't think I was fair with her return final account statement. This lady still applied for my place to come back. I'm like, you tried to sue me because you didn't think I was fair. She put in a bunch of stuff, and I'm like, well, I'm not paying for that because you put it in. And so when she moved out, I said, you're going to take it with you? And she said, no, I'm going to leave it there. So we demoed it because she literally made the whole place a different flooring that just wasn't the right decor. So I put the standard flooring back, and she's like, well, where's my money? I'm like, you put it in there. I'm not putting it. So she tried to sue me for that, right? Tell me why, Cyndee, years later, she's like, Andrew, can I please come back?
Oh my gosh. Because of good customer service.
Well, because what she knew, she tried other places, and she told me, Andrew, it's not the same.
Yeah.
These other places are not like what you guys. So even though she was not the nicest in certain things, she did say, you guys are the best. You guys, customer service, you're the best. You take care of things. She's like, it's so bad out there, Andrew. It's so bad. So imagine leveling up your properties that you asset manage and your teams that you manage and lead to where people are dying to come back.
Yep.
Right. So
we have that where people come back all the time.
Yeah.
Where they're just like, yeah, we lived here before, we want to live here again.
Yep.
So that's good.
Yeah, and you not have to use marketing. They've already known it. They refer you clients. They're coming back.
The other thing, bottom line is we would rather have a resident stay.
Yes.
Than move.
Absolutely.
As far as financially, it.
What is that? And I know you know the answer, but if somebody moves out, it costs money.
Yes.
And what is that? What is that? Some of it, for example.
Well, sometimes it's not too bad. We might touch up the paint and clean the carpet and call it good. Or it might be a unit that we have to completely renovate for whatever reason.
Yep.
So then that's very expensive.
It is.
So
because sometimes you can charge them back and sometimes you're not able to charge them back. Sometimes you're eating all the costs.
Yeah. And sometimes you do charge them back and then you don't get the money and you just
their deposit's $100 and
yes.
the fees are $1,000 and they're like, good luck trying to collect it. Yes. I've had people say that to my face. Like, good luck, you're not going to get it.
Yeah. So we would much rather have residents be happy and stay.
Yes. Yeah, because the other thing too is we've talked about it before is vacancy loss.
Yes.
You don't want to get vacancy loss. Vacancy loss can be detrimental to your budget. So you have vacancy loss, you have turnover costs, you have marketing costs, or even the staffing costs because now you have to have your staff there to show and tour and all these things.
Yes.
So it's not cheap. Take applications. Yep. It is not cheap to lose people. So that's why resident retention is so important. So I know before I talked about specific goals, you may have something different, but I always, depending on your business plan too, because maybe you need people to get out to do the renovations. Mm-hmm. I usually try to stick around. My number was always 70%. And just for simple math, you have 10 lease expirations per month. I would try to capture 7 of those 10. Because then that way it gives me 3 people that are going to most likely move out or go month to month. But moving out sometimes not always a bad thing. And what I mean by that the term that we use is called old to new. Somebody moves out and you got a hot commodity and people want to move in. They've been under market for how long?
Yes. Right?
We're the cheapest in town.
Yep.
You don't want to do that. And so you're able to go from old to new, which is you get somebody out and the best way I can explain is like, if you're the owner and somebody's paying $700, but you just rented the unit next door for, let's say, $1,500, look how much more money you're making.
Yes.
So in those situations, you're not really necessarily, you have to keep them. You're like, okay, well, I wish you the best of luck. Bye.
Yeah.
Don't let the door hit you on the way out. And you just went from $700 to $1,500 a month. And that's another way how you can increase right away. So it's okay to let some people go if you need to. But resident retention, for the most part, you want to keep what did you call it? Keep the back door.
Close the back door.
Close the back door. That's your,
Close the back door.
Close the back door.
Because we don't want people moving in and people moving out at the same rate.
Yeah, the revolving door, right?
Yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah.
Bad for business.
And the other thing we do with retention too is we really, when we buy a property, we really try and change the perception of the leasing office. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of times people kind of view that as like the principal's office.
Yes.
And it's not a good place to go. You don't want to go in there. You're late on your rent or whatever. So with our community events, We always have the leasing agent there. We do them at the leasing office. So people come in and they realize this is a pleasant place to be. This is a good place to be. And you can say, oh, by the way, I need to put in a maintenance, and they're happy to take it. So we're trying to change the perception of the leasing office, that it's not a negative, that it's a positive. It's where you're welcomed, where we're happy that you're there. So that is the whole process of standing up when people come in. How can I help you? What can I do to, solve any issue that you may have? I'm here to serve you.
Yeah,
we take the Chick-fil-A approach.
My pleasure.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Yeah.
Because we want people to know they can come in, because there may come a time that they need to come in and say, I'm going to be late on my rent.
Right.
But if they've never been in the leasing office and that's the first time they come in, they just don't feel good about it.
Right.
But if they know that the on-site knows them, knows who they are, they already have that rapport, it's much easier.
Yeah.
And
you want people on your side to like be your eyes and ears, because the office is only open for certain business hours and it's closed on certain days in certain situations. So I've had people who have been sometimes they go a little overboard. I call them my little sheriffs. They're like the sheriffs of the property. And then there's people who are, just good volunteer Samaritans who are like, hey, Andrew, I just want to let you know that I saw some people over here hanging out. They shouldn't be here at night. Oh, good to know. Or, hey, just to let you know, I've seen the gate propped open and it's supposed to be a closed gate. Right. So they could definitely, if you never open your doors, like you said, to the office, they're not going to come in and talk to you, because they're going to feel like, well, the only reason I need to go there is because I'm in trouble.
Right.
But now they're your eyes and ears. They're your little volunteers at the evening time because they live there. And it's not necessarily tattletales, but it's like, hey, you should be aware of this, or
what's going on
in the property.
Yep.
Exactly. So
yeah, we do have one property that there's a gentleman, he's lived there, I don't even know how long, more than 10 years, and he's like the spokesman. And so if there's any issues going on, he will go in and talk with the on-site. So yeah.
And I've actually had people who were my long-term residents who are my advocates, like speaking on my behalf, like, hey, Andrew's a good guy, he's really trying, or the team is really doing this. And so it's bought me, I'm going to say this funny, a street cred. It's bought me street cred with the property, because they're like, hey, he's the new sheriff in town. He's really cracking down. I remember this, I was in Porter Ranch. It's another city out here. And I took over a very distressed property. The management was horrible. They were like literally revolving door through managers.
Oh,
and
wow.
So when I went there, they're like, here's another manager. And then I kind of had to like earn my street cred with the residents. And then next thing you know, they're like, hey, so Cyndee's told me I should talk to you. Or, hey, Cyndee, blah, 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 said I should talk to you. Other new residents. Because Cyndee was the person saying, hey, talk to Andrew. He's really helping me out.
Yep.
He said he's going to do something. The main thing is when you say you're going to do something, you got to follow up and do it.
So that takes us to the say-do ratio.
All right. Tell us, what is that?
Have you ever heard of that?
You are the one who taught me that.
Yeah. Well, actually, my son taught me that, and he learned it from his dad. So
good job, Lynn.
So say-do ratio is, I challenge everyone to do this for 2 days. Listen to what you say that you're going to do, and do you actually do it?
Can you say that one more time?
Listen to what you say you're going to do, and then do you actually do it? What is your ratio? And let me tell you,
that's a tough
if you do that for 2 days, first off, I can tell you 90% of the people are just going to be so embarrassed. I know I was. When I did that little drill, I was like, I cannot believe my say-do ratio is so low. And I swore, like, that is not, because I'm really big on integrity. Mm-hmm. I'm really big on follow through. Yeah. Yes, one of our core values. And so, yeah, my say-do ratio is much, much higher. Yeah. But if you don't take that check.
Yep, checks and balances. Yep.
You have to take that check. So, yeah, that's my challenge for today.
So, everyone who's watching this right now, do yourselves a favor and write down, this is how I would do it. Write down what you say you're going to do, and then see if you actually did what you said you were going to do. Yeah. And follow through.
And it's simple things. I mean, we're talking, big things.
Hey, I'm going to give you a call tomorrow.
Exactly.
And did you call the next day?
Exactly. Yes or no? Yeah, some very simple things, but it's all in your intent.
Yeah, it goes back to like the days of when I remember I had a particular resident who brought me to his office, Mr. Shapiro. I'll never forget his name. And he taught me the lesson of like when a gentleman shakes a hand to another person, which he's implying with me, he's like, you're giving me your word, your honor.
Yeah.
Doing that. And it goes back to that. Like if you say, hey, don't worry, I'm going to send a maintenance person over there for this reason. And for some reason, the maintenance person can't make it, XYZ. Hey, my wife's sick. I have to go home. Call that resident and say, hey, I need to let you know. I'm sorry.
Yes.
The person has gone home an emergency, but I at least wanted to give you a courtesy call so you weren't waiting. Courtesy call is going to take you really far, whether that's your asset manager talking to property managers talking to residents. Hey, I just wanted to give you a courtesy call, Blake, because I'm unable to pick you up at that location. Wow, Andrew, thanks so much for letting me know. I didn't want to leave you stranded. I didn't want you to think what's wrong.
So the term of the day is courtesy call.
So I'm giving you a courtesy call because of X, Y, and Z. Thank you, because people don't do what they say they're going to do.
Exactly.
And I understand things do come up. You understand things come up. Mm-hmm. But if you just keep failing your residents, failing your asset manager, failing your manager, whoever that is, you're slowly but surely deteriorating your trust between the two.
And it affects your retention.
It absolutely
I'm
does.
not going to live here because they never come and fix whatever they say they're going to fix.
Oh, yeah, we'll be there.
Yeah.
No show. Oh, yeah, we'll be there tomorrow. No show. At some point, you're like, I don't even know when they're going to show up. I don't know. Like, why am I even living here? And guess what, guys? We live in a capitalistic world. There's other properties.
Yes.
So you're not the only one that they have the opportunity to.
Yep.
So they have a choice to live with you or say, hey, thanks, but no thanks. I'm going to go over to Lynn's property. Lynn's down the street. It's really nice. It may not even be brand new, but it's like my friend lives there and says, I wish I would have got out of that other property sooner.
Yeah.
I'm so much happier here.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, we have 4 walls, we have this countertops, and we have appliances, whatever. Just where do they choose to call home?
Yep.
And it should be their safe place.
Yep.
So
absolutely.
So
hopefully you got a few ideas on retention and things that you can do to keep those residents.
Yeah. If you guys have any ideas that you want to share, please do us a favor. Put your information or your contacts information down below and share with us also some friendly tips so that other people can gain from that knowledge as well.
Yeah. All right. See you in class.